Score 44 points against Oldham, but against Turnford they've managed 21.
Well done to Turnford.
So fantastic.
They're the champions. They deserved it. They deserved it.
Hello, and welcome to a. I'm just trying to get rid of that. Do you know what? I love my tech. All right, welcome to the ENG YNPL review show. It's the last one of the season, Richard. It's the last one. We're going to do the under 13s and 15s knockout Shield and Cup draw shortly. Yeah. We're going to review games from the grand finals with Hayden. Good analysis guy that he is, and how tough it is to be a coach. And it's our again, it's our last show. What are we going to do, mate? What are we going to do?
That brought a tear to my eye. That little.
Do you know what? I saw you smiling on the background cam. I saw you going. Oh. Now, people, what they don't realise actually, and the reason I did that, or I was a little bit surprised to you, is they don't realise. You know, when you release all these videos, that you get them cheering, you do the cannon, you do all that. And the celebration, I mean, getting Kingsway Power to celebrate is a massive thing for one thing. But you see how much they love it as well. So it was great to see you smiling in the background there, mate. So it was all good.
No, it's good. I liked it because you're so immersed in the day, everything's a blur.
It's knackering, mate. We do 12 hours of live streaming alone. That's just physically the games, 12 hours, yeah. And like you're running around like a headless chicken, trying to sort loads of other things out. People don't realise that we're there for from 7 o'clock in the morning through to like 11 o'clock at night. That's a long day.
It's a long day, and it's the prep. It's the prep going into it as well, and it's all the stuff you got to deal with. You're taking on a lot of people's, insecurities and problems and stuff like that. So, no, all in all, very good weekend. But it looks like my internet may be dropping in or out. So what I'm going to do once Martin comes back into the room, can you hear me, Martin?
I am in the room, mate. We can hear you. You probably can't see us then. That's obviously a problem on your side.
You keep freezing. So, but can you hear me while I'm talking? We'll work with it. So before we do our final review show of the Youth Netball Premier League Grand Finals, we're going to speak to Hayden, who's said he's going to be breaking down a lot of stuff in regards to how certain teams play, where teams went wrong and where teams went right. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what he comes up with. And we're going to talk about the coaches. Some coaches I spoke to at the event. They look stressed. They look like they're not enjoying it, type of thing. So it'd be nice to touch upon how tough it is for a coach to kind of coach at these competitions and to basically keep everyone happy.
Not going to happen, mate. Just not going to happen. We've learned that.
So we'll touch upon that. But before we do that, let's do the draw for the ENG under-13s and under-15s Netball and Shield Cup knockout series, which is the final. So it's round 3. It's the final round before the national finals. Every group has 8 teams, and now it's opened up to the country, so anyone can play anyone in this.
Dun, dun, dun.
Meaning there's a high chance people will start refusing to play each other
because they got to go too far every year, mate. Every year.
I'm hoping we don't get too many people cancelling and not wanting to play. So whoever you play against, it'll be your last time you have to kind of commit, and then will you go to the national finals, and hopefully you will win the competition. But don't forget, the main focus is always connecting the clubs, giving your club the best match play possible. So it helps and develop your team, and most importantly, keeps your team together. People love being a part of things that help when you're pushing into going forwards. I think these events help you as a team move forwards as a team. You don't stagnate. So that's a massive part of it, because that's why some kids will sometimes leave clubs, because they feel the club's not moving quick enough, or it's not going to where it's not moving in a direction that they want it to move to. So these events are good for kind of moving.
Oh, I think we might have lost him. He's got internet problems.
They keep the team together, keep the bond together, and basically be competitive, stay competitive.
It's good that they do. What more can you say, mate? He's gone. So what more can you say except for staying competitive is something. And don't forget, you can also meet in the middle. If it's very far apart, like a 3-hour drive, maybe meet somewhere it's only an hour and a half. There's an idea. Oh, he's back. There we go. You're back, sir.
I thought I'd come back in and out. It might make a difference. It did last time. So before I cut out again, let's just get this draw underway. So it's the ENG under-13 Shield. These are the teams that lost in round 1. They've now made it to round 3. So just looking at the teams, Ryland, decent team. They come 5th in the under. That's the under-13s team. Sorry,
mate. I've just noticed. I've done Group A, Group B. It should be such and such a team versus such and such, shouldn't it?
Sorry, say again.
I've done Group A, Group B, and it's supposed to be Team A versus Team B.
Just stick one in A, stick one in B, and that'd just be the same
thing.
Just
as simple as that, mate. It's just as simple as that.
Okay, so Bury, Grangetown, Turnford B, some good teams in there. Chester, they got relegated in our under-13s league, but still some good solid teams in here. Big clubs, and Hearts Dynamos will be looking to make a challenge on this competition as well. So good luck to all the teams. Whoever you get drawn out, enjoy. Teams, bit of advice: just work together. Just if the game's far away, maybe meet halfway. Let's not make a big deal about pushing the kids and giving them the opportunities. So here we go. First one out is number 1.
Number 1.
So Chester,
yes. Oh! I just put the wrong button. There we go. You can tell it's the last one, mate. Everything's falling apart. Sorry, what number? Number 3.
8.
Oh, number 8. I thought it was 3. God, my eyes are going.
Headlanders.
There we are. I will try and get rid of that group AB.
Next out, we have
number 7.
Hearts Dynamos. So nice home draw there. Oh.
Yep. Just working.
And they'll be playing.
Get rid of that. There we go.
Nice local game here. Number 4.
Number 4.
Manor or Turnford.
I hate when tech goes wrong. There we go. All up and running now. There we go. Look at that. How cool I am.
Hey, Martin, we've got a few people watching, but no one's commenting, mate.
Yeah, mate. What is it? Why does nobody want to comment? Come on. Get involved. Tell me who you don't want to play against.
What do you think, Chester? If you're in the room, Darlington, you're in the room, Hearts Dynamos, if you're in the room, tell us, how do you feel about this draw? Are you disappointed?
Tell us you're in the room.
Did you want to travel far?
Actually, do you know what? Interesting you say that. My son loves a long drive because he gets to listen to his headphones and chill out a little bit. Yeah, it's a short drive.
I've got to admit, I'm a bit of a traveller. So, but this number coming out now is number 9, but I'm using it as a number 6. So there you go.
Did you lose a 9 ball in the game or something?
I used number 6. So Ryland, they're at home too. Number 2, Grangetown.
Number 2.
Good game.
Yeah, that is going to be a good game, actually. Ooh.
There we go. I do like to be honest. We see a lot of the same winners in our competition. So this competition in particular is, for me, it's just like, just nice seeing new teams.
Yeah. No, do you know what I've noticed? Yeah, I've noticed like Manners new into your league anyway. But yeah, it's nice seeing new teams coming in.
So here we go. Bury, number 3. And the team that have done superbly well so far in this competition, a new kind of team getting involved, Marine. So Marine, you've got a fantastic game there against a really big club in the country. So enjoy that one. Hopefully you embrace it, because it's a really cool game for you. So Chester against Darlington, Hearts Dynamos against Manor or Turnford, Ryland against Grangetown, Bury taking on Marine in the under-13s quarterfinals of the ENG Netball Shield.
Cool, right.
Now, just to let people know about the potential location of these national finals, we do have 2 venues pre-booked. We have the Essex Sports Arena, and we also have the National Cycling Centre in Manchester. So depending on the draw tonight, we'll kind of relatively make our decision on what we plan to do in regards to what venue we're going to stick with. So, yeah, seeing as everyone boycotted the Essex Arena for the championship finals, maybe we should just take a punt with Manchester. But we'll have a look at it after this, and we'll make a decision. But we'll move on to the under-15 Shield.
There we go.
So, Chevrons are from Yorkshire, Kingsway Power under-14s, Ryland, Aces or Stars. That's the Aces in the Midlands, by the way.
Shall I put? Do you want me to put Aces mid in there? Would that be easy?
You can do. Yeah.
Let me do that.
Number 5 is Aces London. Then you have Magic or Teagate. That's Magic's under-14s or Teagate. Abbey Flyers. Abbey Flyers didn't get a game in round 1. They did lose round 2 in the cup, but because they didn't get their first game, we moved them into the Shield for their second game. And then AP Saints under 14s. So here we go.
Whoa, come on, people. Comment. Let us know. Who do you not want to play against and who do you want to play against?
So out first, number 8. I think that was the same ball as last time.
I think it was, mate. My memory's not doing good anymore. I'm still knackered from the weekend. I'm still. Oh, it says my PC, obviously, it looks like. There we go.
Okay. Oh, nice local London derby there against Aces.
What number is that?
South London, number 5.
Number 5. I couldn't see the number. The light is on it in a particular way. Number 5.
Out next, we have number 3, Ryland. They got another home draw. Janet, if you're watching from the Midlands, but must be thinking happy days.
Must be. Ain't got far to travel. I was happy.
And they'll be playing Aces in the Midlands or Stars. So these draws are not pulling out big long journeys yet, which a lot of clubs must be very thankful of. So yeah, Ryland against Aces in the Midlands or Stars. Next out, we have number 7, Abbey Flyers.
Hey, you're sounding quite chilled there, Richard. I'm not used to this.
And there, where's the? How have I ended up with?
Now there's Richard. There he's back. Wait, what have I done with it?
This is the false number 6.
Right.
6. It's
Number 6.
Magic or Teagate.
Yep.
Hold on. Something got a bit peaked on here. Hold on. Hold on, Martin.
That's all right, people. Look, this is live. Look, there's loads of you watching. Come on, let us know who do you support? What team are you in? What do you want? What don't you want? Who do you want to play? Who don't you want to play? Oh, are you here for the cup or the shield? There we go. Are you all good now? Did you put your makeup on?
Yeah. Okay. Lastly, we have number 2.
Number 2. Kingsway Power under 14s.
And they'll be playing, I think it's just number 1 left, isn't it?
I don't even know. Number 1, yeah.
Chevrons.
I don't even know. There we go.
Well,
Chevrons.
there we go. Everyone's got a relatively close game. So you've got AP Saints of the 14s against Aces from South London. Ryland from the Midlands taking on Aces from the Midlands or Stars Netball Club. Abbey Flyers against Magic or Teagate. Then you have Kingsway Power under 14s or Chevrons in the under 15s. So cool.
I'm just trying to think. I think a really good derby there is that AP Saints versus Aces. Do you reckon?
Yeah, the standout game is the AP Saints Aces game.
And Ryland versus either Aces Midlands or Stars as well.
Remember, people, if you would like your games streamed, just give Martin a call. He might be free. He might be able to come down and do a pay-per-view service for people. Just give him a call. Come on, people.
That's a good idea. Yeah, give me a call. But it's outside, isn't it? Usually they play. If it's inside,
this would be they play these games indoors. So
oh, do they? Even better. That makes it even easier, better for me. Protect my equipment.
The games have to be done by the 23rd of June because the national finals are on the 24th.
Ooh, time limit.
Okay, now we move on to the Netball Cup.
There we go.
Oh,
we are ready, sir.
Let's have a little look to make sure everything is right here. Hold on, I think little mistake there, Martin.
Go on, what?
Is it's Grangetown at the top or Leeds?
Oh, right.
Leeds A.
So Leeds A, yeah. Or so what? They got to play each other. Is that what you mean?
They haven't played yet. They got to get it done. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
So who have I missed out then?
Just put Grangetown / Leeds A.
Yeah, but that means there is no number 2. Who have I missed out?
Just be number 1, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So number 2, I've got
Leeds B is in it as well.
Oh, right. There we go. All right. Okay.
Cool.
There we go. Done. Right. Yeah. That's
got some potential big game. Well, so Stars and Sutton Town haven't played their game yet, which is a big game.
That's a big game.
So get that done, please. Kingsway Power, who are our who are officially the number 1 team in the country. No argument. Like I said, the thing, no argument, no debate. That is the best team in the country. Leeds might want a bit of revenge here. So
do you think?
Let's see if they, Leeds were tipped to win that competition. But to be fair to Kingsway Power, what a performance in the final. You cannot fault them. It was a faultless performance. So well done to them. So a potential big game is the Leeds Kingsway Power one. Got to get past Grangetown first. Leeds B are not rubbish either. They are a fantastic, solid team.
They are, aren't they?
Teagate is another team who have done superbly so far. A new team coming into our kind of ENG world. So looking forward to seeing who they get in this competition. Then you have AP Saints under 13s who kind of below mid-table in our league. Then Turnford, who come runners-up in the Southern Conference. Magic, who come, I think, 6th or 7th in the Southern Conference. So you've got a lot of big hitters here. Some really good competitive games, potentially. So I'm looking forward to this one. Let's see who plays who.
All right. Kingsway Power versus Stars.
Do you want the
Kingsway
big
Power
teams
versus Stars or Sutton?
Do you want the big teams to hit each other now, Martin? Or
good point. Actually, no. We'll wait. Hold them off. Yeah, but then do you know what? It opens. I mean, when they get this far in the cup, come on.
Right, first one out, number 4.
Number 4. Who have we got then?
Teagate.
Oh, you spoke about them, and they arrived. First out.
They've pulled out some really good results. So I'm be interested to see who they get here and whoever they get, because all these teams are very hard. It'd be interesting to see how they get on as well.
Hey, Teagate, look, I'll tell you one thing. You've got massive advantage. They haven't got any video footage on you, but you've got video footage on them. Just go to FBLstreamslive.com.
Precisely.
And you can see exactly how they play as well.
Right, Teagate will be playing. They will be playing number 5, Stars or Sutton Town.
Oh,
good game. Like it.
Yeah. Getting real. If Kingsway Power and Leeds comes up, this is
right. Turnford, number 7.
Number 7. There we go.
And they'll be playing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh, big game. Number 1, Leeds or Grangetown.
That is a big one, isn't it? There we go. Ooh, do you reckon they'll be happy about that?
I think they'll be happiest at home.
Good point. Yep. Tell me, do you prefer to play at home or away? Because I'm sure it's, like I say, time to focus if you're away. Or if you
Out
just turn
next,
up.
we have number 3, so it's Kingsway Power, the national champions, number 1 team in the country.
Ooh, who's quaking in their boots? I wish I could do that thing, when you're on your iPhone or on iPhone anyway, you hold down the icon, they all start to shake. It'd be cool if I could make all the all the numbers that are left shake.
And they'll be playing.
Is that number 6?
Yeah. AP Saints under 13s.
Oh, how do you feel about that, AP Saints? Ooh,
game for them.
System
Go and enjoy
like
it. Go and enjoy it. You're playing the number 1 team in the country. Just enjoy.
And if you beat them, you are literally going to light it up. I tell you what, people are going to be looking at you running scared.
Okay. Out next, Magic, number 8.
Number 8.
And lastly, I believe it's Leeds B.
Number 2, is it? Number 2?
Yep.
There we go. Put it in.
So cool.
Oh, what is Matt with this system, man? There we go.
By the way, Magic were put into the quarterfinals after being the best losing team based on goals scored. So we had 7 teams that qualified, and we qualified them as the 8th team based on the goals they scored when they lost.
I like that idea.
So that evens it all up. So good. So Teagate against Stars or Sutton, Turnford against Grangetown or Leeds, Kingsway Power versus AP Saints, and Magic versus Leeds B. A nice, again, I think it's a great little fixtures. So brilliant. Happy days, happy with that. And then we will move on to the 15s.
Do it right now. There we go. Under 15s, loaded, locked, and ready to fire.
So,
What have I done wrong?
no, you haven't done nothing wrong. I've been notified that Sutton Town under 14s can't have forfeited the game against the AP Saints under 15. So just scrub the Sutton Town out.
Under 14s, yeah?
Yeah.
They have been removed from the tournament as you spoke.
Okay, so in this one, Manor or Sutton Town under 15s. Turnford, the national champions, #1 team in the country. Marine Netball Club, a team that have come in and they've had 2 superb results in the first couple of rounds. AP Saints under 15s, who nearly took down Bury. Martin, come on, man, that game.
Oh. Yeah.
Incredible. Probably AP Saints' best performance all season. So a great game to watch.
And great commentary with it as well.
Beds. It
Great
was very good commentary. Kingsway
Thank
Power,
Hayden and Colin.
#6. Grangetown, #7. Bury, #8. Some really big teams in here. So looking forward to seeing who gets who. So here we go.
Okay. We want Kingsway Power and Turnford to keep away from each other for this round.
Okay, so Manor under 14s or team beds. They're #5.
Okay.
And they'll be playing
Dun, dun, dun.
#6 or 9. I'll see.
Kingsway Power. Yeah. Or not.
So the Kingsway Power have avoided kind of the Turnford and the Bury and the Grangetown. So it most probably
sigh of relief. Let us know, Kingsway Power. Is it a sigh of relief or not? There you go. Or did he want a big massive fight right at the start?
Okay, #7 is out next. Grangetown.
Who's going to visit Grangetown?
And going up to Grangetown will be very good game indeed. Bury.
#8.
#8.
Boom.
So Bury beat Grangetown's under 14s in the previous round, and now they're going to be playing their under 15s in the third round.
Oh, you've had a warm up then. There you go.
Out next is #1, which is Manor or Sutton Town under 15s. And they'll be playing Marine.
Help me out. #3. There we go. All right. Only 2 left. Who's going to get the home fixture?
It's the big one, though. It's really good. Martin, we got to live stream this game. Oh, come on, man. Right, who's going to be at home? It's going to be AP Saints, #4.
AP Saints. Oh, I put the wrong one. There we go. AP Saints under 15s.
And they'll be playing the national champions. Turnford.
Oh, no, you just maybe hit the wrong button as well. Not again. Not again.
Oi! You said the wrong name.
Yes. How dare you? How very dare you? Can't believe you did that.
You feel better with your £8 medal around your neck.
There you go. That weighty, really good quality one.
Here
Yes.
we go. Manor under 14s, team beds versus Kingsway Power. Grangetown against Bury. Manor or Sutton Town versus Marine. And AP Saints under 15s versus Turnford. Great fixtures. Really looking forward to this competition kind of playing out. Remember, teams have to get these done by the 24th of June because the national finals will be on the Saturday, 24th of June. So you can even do it on the Friday evening if you want. But make sure you're at the nationals on the Saturday. So yeah, I can get all the marketing done for this now. I can get all the posters done.
Well, that's why you don't want it done on the Friday, mate. If they do it on the Friday, you won't be able to get the marketing done.
I'll just take a punt on what's going on. But we'll let you know in due course in regards to where the venue's going to be and stuff. But all in all, some great fixtures. Enjoy wherever you're traveling to. Just enjoy the travel and enjoy the moment, and just enjoy people. It's just.
Do you know what?
People take
that's
it
a great thing.
Too much.
Just enjoy
the process.
Yeah. We're the ones who get stressed out in the background. Me with all my internet and tech and stuff. You try to organise teams, make sure they've got enough time to warm up and do all their stuff. Just enjoy. I know they're all travelling to each other on this one, but I'm talking about the next stage. But yeah, just like I say, like my son loves listening to music or whatever before he. Well, this is when we get a lift with you, Richard. He likes having his headphones on, so he doesn't listen to us droning on all the time at the front.
Yeah.
But get in his zone, innit? Put some music on. Boom.
Just enjoy it. The best days of my life was traveling. And just, it was never a big deal to me and my family. Like, we just got on with it. It's just, you remember that these teams are in this because they deem themselves to be high performance. So act like a high performance team.
Ooh.
Opportunity doesn't come knocking. You have to go to it. So enjoy the games, everyone. We're now going to move on to the Youth Netball Premier League review show.
Okay, shall I bring Hayden in? Because he's been patiently waiting in the background. I can tell you right now, he's got his screen already. I've seen you getting your screen set up in the background, mate. You're moving it around. You've been doing stuff. So do you want to bring it up and just make sure it goes on all right?
Not just, I don't know where are we going to start. So all the clips I've got is from the under 15s. Like, it's taken quite a while to go through those. So,
Hayden, come on, mate. That's just half a job, mate. You've done an amazing, absolutely phenomenal job with your commentary with Colin. And then you've done this not even half a go, mate. You've had 4 hours? You could have done a lot more, mate.
No, I think that, Richard's not doing the under 16s league next year, right? The under 15s are moving on to bigger and better things. So I think we got some time, maybe. I don't know. Maybe on next week's show or whatever to go through sort of the clips.
Can you hear me, Martin? Yeah,
I can hear you, mate. I'm still laughing in the background too. Bigger and better things, did you say, Hayden? Right? Do they have live streaming? Do they have? You know what I mean? Do they have it like we do?
What you got to remember about Hayden, Martin, is he is. Like, I thought I was a wind up. This guy is top of the league wind up, mate. I'm telling you.
I'll tell you what. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the commentary on the main games for the under 15s tournament of the grand finals. Which, mate, I got home. I'm shattered. I drove back from Birmingham. Done. I've got home about midnight, 11 o'clock midnight. Got home, brought the stuff in, made myself a cup of tea, the usual ritual. Put a bit of TV on, and I was like, I'm just going to quickly look at the commentary. And I was watching it for like 15 minutes, and I had to put it down. Because I was like, no, I've already listened to all this. I'm just captivated. So I was like, how brilliant is it? I'll tell you what you and Colin did. It was amazing, by the way. Thank you very much for doing that and stepping forward as well. It was
good.
It was funny as well. So funny.
Hayden, what do you think of those cup draws, mate? Any ones that stand out to you at all?
Well, AP Saints Tottenford is the standout ones in the in the under 15s, because like we saw AP Saints play really well, against Bury and push them right to the limit, and that was without Tash. So, with Tash coming in, that will give them another boost. And I've been going through the videos. Well, I think I found some chinks in the armour of Turnford. So hopefully, AP Saints
I like that.
Them. Yeah. So all in all, I was working out. So we had a big competition at the weekend. All of us were obviously there. It wasn't too bad for us because I was working out. I was thinking, in my head, it was a bad day at the office for the Southern teams. I thought it was disastrous type of thing. Yeah. But it wasn't that bad because the under 14s had 2 representatives in the top 4. The under 15s had 2 representatives in the top 4.
In the top 2.
And the 12s and the 13s had one team each in the top 4. So it wasn't too bad.
I'll tell you, well done to Turnford for protecting the South, our dignity. We didn't get knocked out of everything. Thank you, Turnford. Thank you so much.
Paul and
I think,
and Paul, to be honest, because they also made it so that it was just the two. It was the Southern teams that allowed us to survive. But But obviously to Turnford for obviously winning as well. But there we go.
Yeah, I think the quality of netball was better on Saturday than on Sunday. I really think that looking at the video and stuff, that sort of holy trinity of Leeds Athletic, Kingsway, and Oldham in the under 12s and under 13s, that's like your next golden generation of England netball. I think when you watch the under 15s, you see like
I'm just intrigued by the knowledge, and he's you know what I mean. He keeps kind of maybe he's got what we're advising him to do is come back in again, Martin.
Yeah,
what?
No, yeah. So
we're going to kick him out now and invite him back in later. All right?
Yeah. Hayden, we're going to kick you out and we're going to bring you back in again.
No.
We're joking, mate.
Yeah. So, but with the under 15s, I think you see stars sort of dominating, right? You see Zanae with flying intercepts and Coco, and then a lot of the Northern girls. That was the first time I'd seen them play, right? So Maisie Traynor and Shannon Malik. But like when you watch those under 12s and under 13s of those three teams, they're all good. Like when you come to pick an MVP, like you're scratching your head.
That was the case, wasn't it? Actually, you had problems with that, if I remember rightly, Richard.
Yeah, really big problems. And Dave kind of.
I was glad just Hayden was there because having his input is highly informative because I haven't got a clue what's going on that day. It's all
you haven't got a clue what's going on. Full stop.
Yeah. So you know, I've got to put the videos together of basically what every team sort of south of Manchester and Leeds needs to do in order to give them some competition, because we got a little taste with your under 12s competition in Colchester. And I said to Colin at Shan before that game, I said, there's a gap between Oldham, Kingsway, Leeds and everyone else. And he's like, why do you say that? And, you know, I said, they're so structured off the centre pass. You know, all of their free plays, they're just set up so nicely. They get great depth.
Martin, we need to get him to come out to come in again.
Why do you need to get him to come out to come in again? Why?
Because he keeps freezing.
On your computer.
Yeah, that's on your computer. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So yeah, we're not going to be here all day. So I've got some stuff for the under 12s and under 13s, but maybe today we can focus on the under 15s.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
But give us your quick review of the 12s, 13s, and 14s. Who impressed you? Who disappointed you? What was your overall thoughts on the 12s, 13s, and 14s? Was it like I'd love to know your thoughts on the under 13s Leeds game against Kingsway Power, because we did expect Leeds to win that one. And
no,
Kingsway
you did.
Power,
No, who expected Leeds to win that one?
Well, they won the league.
Yeah.
So we kind of expected them to kind of come into that event and win it, because based on what we've seen so far this season. And it didn't really materialise. So I'd love to know why that didn't materialise and kind of why Leeds didn't play as well as they probably could have done in that final. They got blown away in that first quarter by Kingsway Power. And I'd just love to know why that was. Was it nerves, or was it Kingsway Power brought a different kind of was it a tactical thing? I'd love to know your thoughts.
I think Kingsway Power, like when you push them more, they have another gear to go to, right? So we saw that with the under 12s at Colchester. They lost against Leeds in the group stage, and then they came back and like wiped them out in the final. And you know, looking at the Kingsway Power girls, like their pivoting and their ball placement like is exceptional, right? So they catch the ball and pivot very quickly, and their technique is slightly different than the Southern girls, right? So if you look at Lily and Poppy with the under 12s, you know, at Shan and Sutton Town, they catch the ball and they bring it down and they'll do a chest pass. And if they want to throw it in the air, they'll bring the ball back up and go like that. Whereas those Northern girls, especially the Kingsway Power, they keep the ball up here and they have the ability to execute like long passes with tremendous accuracy.
May I add, he was saying this to me while I was obviously trying to chase these balls across the court all day. And he was saying, look, see this, see that, see that. Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, I see what you do.
So they basically do not waste any time. So that they do not get the ball when they bring it down. They just literally keep it up in the air and keep it going.
And it's like they're stretching the physical limits, right? Because you're talking about most of those girls will be 12, but some will be 11. I know a lot of the girls in Sutton Town's team are the year below. But when we talk about like receiving the ball, you want to have at least one long option and one short option. So for adults, a long option, we can throw the ball pretty far. But these 12-year-old girls, at Kingsway and, Leeds, but Kingsway in particular, their ability to throw the ball like over distance at accuracy means you have to go back and defend them. So if your long option is that long, now when you go to the short option, they're one-on-one. Whereas the difference with the elite teams in the South, they don't quite have the ability to throw the ball that far. So what happens is their long option is a little bit shorter. Their long option, their short option's a bit closer together. So the court gets a little bit congested. So, if they get an interception or whatever, it might take them 6 or 7 passes to get the ball sort of from their defensive transverse line into the other team circle. Whereas your Kingsway, your Leeds, your Oldham, they can do it in like 3-4 passes at 12 years old. It's really incredible how they're able to do it.
So my synopsis of that is you're saying that the South is weak.
No.
No. So Hayden, what would you give to what advice would you give to, again, coaches who are not at Leeds or Oldham or Kingsway Power in the under 12s kind of section? What advice would you give them? What would you take from those 3 teams and advise the other teams to work on to try and get them up to speed quicker?
So the first thing as well, like defensively on the centre pass, those teams, they don't give you any freebies. As soon as that centre throws a ball in, they're contesting it. Whereas I think you see some of the southern teams, they're allowing, teams to get first phase easily. So the girls, you've got to be off the mark defensively if you're a wing defence or a goal defence on the centre pass. You've got to be contesting that first phase. And then attacking wise on the centre pass, like you just can't run in a straight line and get the ball. If you run in a straight line to get the ball against these, Kingsway girls, they're quicker or whatever. So your wing attack in particular needs to have some moves, needs to have some change of direction to sort of get away from the wing defence and take that first phase.
You also pointed out, and this was amazing, Richard, when he said this to me, he noticed that one of the teams was actually putting like their fingers on the ball in a certain way, and he reckoned that was because they were communicating to the team what formation they were going to play.
Yeah, so that was Leeds Athletic. Yeah. I was
the thing was, I was trying to zoom in to see that happening, but it was obviously too much going on, and they do it so quick. But it is quite extraordinary how quick they go into formation and then they're attacking. You know what I mean? Especially with the long balls and the thing you say. And that was interesting. You picked that up. I thought that was like, that's clever. That is really clever.
Yeah, that's the little finer details that make just small little differences, but will potentially make a big difference. But Hayden, how about the under 13s game? Before we, I personally didn't expect that. So what did Kingsway Power do in that first quarter, off your memory, that allowed them to get such a good run in the first quarter?
Just more physical. But can I say talk about Shannon Stars a little bit as well? So I think Shannon, the under 12s, defensively, they're at the level of those teams, but offensively, they're not quite there. Whereas Stars in the under 13s, it's kind of the reverse. They can score a lot of points. They can keep up with those teams in terms of scoring, but defensively, they're not quite there. So, I mean, if you could combine those 2 teams from the South, then maybe, you could compete against, the North.
Don't give Luke any ideas. That's an interesting one, though, isn't it? So, that's good analysis.
So, so based on the match play, the match play on the day, especially the under 13s, did you expect Kingsway? I know you said to me you said they were going to win it. So you did it. You did expect it. What did you find they were doing better on the day compared to Leeds?
It's just the pivoting and the timing. And so what happens is when they catch the ball, they turn and get their eyes up so quickly. And then it's the preliminary moves, right? So as soon as you've caught the ball, maybe looking this way, and then you've turned, the first goal that you're looking to pass to, she's already on the move. And literally at the Kingsway, it seems like that first option has got 1 second to get open. If you're not open within a second, I'm coming off of you and I'm going to the next player, right? And so the Kingsway Power girls, they turn and look so quickly, they're able to see option A, B, and C within 3 seconds. Whereas if you look at some of the other teams, the pivoting and the preliminary move is not quite so quick. So maybe they can only see 2 options within 3 seconds, right? So basically speaking to the other coaches, they're like, well, you know, there's a formula to beat Kingsway. You know, they have these 3 options. You just need to be able to shut those 3 options down. Yeah, okay. Let's get a bunch of 11, 12-year-old girls all in sync to shut down 3 options. Like, that is extremely difficult.
Do you think?
So,
You know, and the other thing as well is they work so well. It's not just they get in space; they understand what's their space, but what space is their, you know, their teammates. So the spaces they're moving into is different across the court. They're not getting in each other's way, so it's just extremely difficult to defend them. And as I said, and then defensively, they're just contesting everything. And when they win the ball, they can make these long passes. They use the middle channel, and yeah, they score quickly.
Synchronized netball.
yeah.
There we go.
In the under-14s, Hayden, I think the biggest success in that one was Shan coming in and kind of showing everyone across the country that they are a top team, sort of second best team in the country.
Yep.
So, yeah, how impressed were you with them, especially in that first game against Leeds, which I'm going to be honest, Shan, I didn't expect you to win that one.
Yeah, I thought it would be close, but I expected Leeds to take it. And as I said, congratulations to Shan, the only club from the south that had 2 teams in the semi-finals, right? You've got big clubs like Turnford and Blades, and they've got, you know, teams in the Prem, etc. Like Shan do not have like senior adult teams, right? That's a youth netball club. They only started playing matches last year in the Surrey League, and then this year it's the Surrey League and the ENG. So within 2 seasons, what Sinead and Colin have done with those girls is incredible. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
So,
phenomenal.
You know, Leeds started that game fast. Leeds were winning 7-3 at one point, and then Colin and Sinead made a change. They went from sort of their big tall shooter, and they put Tally in there, and they had sort of the rotating circle with Tally and Sophie. And after that, they outscored Leeds 23-15 the rest of the way. So that was it was quite comfortable in the end.
It was. I was very surprised. And I think, to be honest, I think Leeds were very surprised, to be fair, as well. So, no, and another one I wouldn't say I'd be surprised, but I was surprised at the level, the big difference in level, and that was Chester Western Park Blades. Chester just kind of just destroyed them. And I was, you know, I'm obviously from the south, so I'm sitting there thinking, come on, southern teams, come on, let's show the north that, you know, we are as competitive and we are as hungry and talented. I don't know. Is it a mentality thing? Do these northern teams just have a bit more grit, or are they taught better? Do they play better netball? Because do
they practice more?
It was shocking how easy it looked for Chester.
Yeah, I just think these northern teams are introducing the girls to certain, you know, techniques and concepts at 12 that you would typically do at 14, 15 here. As I said, you got the Leeds wing attacker under 13. She's going like she's signaling these centre passes. And the centre passes don't just involve the wing attack and the goal attack, because some of those centre passes, the wing attack and goal attack don't even go for the ball. It's the wing defence or the goal defence coming down to take the first one. Whereas you might have some teams at under 15 level that don't have those kind of set plays called. Like Kingsway under 12s have more structure on the centre pass than Turnford under 15s, but we'll get to that later.
No, mate, no, keep rolling.
Oh, mate, that's a wow.
That's a statement. That's a statement.
That's why that's why I only had time to go through under 15. I've been going through these sort of Turnford centre passes, and it's like 28 centre passes. Ella took 10. Brogan and the wing defence took 6. So you're talking 16 out of your 28 centre passes went to your goal defence or your wing defence, like went backwards.
Right.
It's not great. It's not, you know, I said to Colin at the time, you know, will Sandberg be happy with, you know, all of our centre passes going backwards? And he's like, well, they're winning 8-2, but you know, ideally
have to go backwards.
No, normally they go forwards to the wing attack or the goal attack.
Oh, yeah, to
me though, I think that's a good idea because you're drawing out the other players from their position because they're not used to it.
it can be as a change up, but I don't think you want like a wing defense and a goal defense like taking your centre passes as a staple.
Sam, if you're around, join the conversation. Join us backstage, please, and we'll get you in because I want you to answer the question.
Yeah, she's going to get worn out. She's got to chase around all these elite goal attacks, right? Like Paul Zeller and Shannon on Oldham. And then once she's chasing around these girls, then Sam's expecting her to go and take every centre pass. It's tough.
Hold on. Well, before we move into the 15s, because that was our big showcase event. Let's talk quickly about Oldham. They won the under 14s. Give us some insight into how you felt they did, Hayden.
And one thing I noticed, like throughout the age groups, like the Oldham goal shooters, like very aggressive, like always really fighting for that front space, and they don't care, even if it's at circle edge and they're not really in a shooting range, because they have that confidence that, regardless of, as a goal shooter, regardless of where I get the ball, I can swing it round to the, the wing attack or dish it off to my goal attack, and I can get it closer to the, get it under the hoop. So, yeah, I think I'm not too familiar with the Oldham girls, but like their goal shooters in particular impress me a lot.
Cool. And deserved on the day, the under 14.
And then, can we just talk like the Shan Ryland semi-final as well? So
that was brilliant. That was brilliant.
And Ryland,
what happened there?
Well, Shan under 14s, they've been slow starters like all season. We've seen it against Cambridge and some games in the Southern Conference. So they were losing that game 14-8 at half time. And then again, like you said, before I came in, you were talking about coaching. Shannon Collin made a change, and they took Timmy, moved her from goal defence to goalkeeper. Ryland scored 14 points in the first half, and they scored 6 points in the second half. So Sham won the second half 13-6 and won the game by a point.
That's quite incredible. 6 points in a 16-minute period.
Right. They've gone from 14 in the first half to 6 in the second half. That's an incredible, that's like 40% of what they scored in the first half.
And do you reckon because part of me was thinking, is it a tactical change or is it just a weak mentality to kind of, I've been in those situations and it's brutal. Like sometimes it's actually harder being ahead than it is being behind, because you're kind of always worried that the team can catch you up. So I'm not sitting here saying criticizing the mentality, because I've been in many situations where I remember being 5-1 up against West Brom in a youth team game, then got beat 6-5. Like it's a joke. I still haven't gotten over that. But I don't know. Part of me was thinking that's a part of Ryland's game I'd love to improve, is to become a bit more durable and to kill games when they have the opportunity, because Shan were there for the taking to be killed off in that first half. And I think mentality wise, I think they let themselves down a little bit, because when you're that much up going into half time, you should be winning those games. I think anyway.
Okay, so you might look at it as a mentality thing. Like when we go and look at like the final, I've got some clips from the Paul Turnford final and some changes that were made there, because Turnford were kind of running away with it in the first quarter, and Hayley Payman made a very subtle change in the second quarter. Not even a personnel change, but just getting one of her players to do some stuff slightly different, which brought Paul back into the game. So the thing with netball, you've got 7 girls on both teams moving around, right? So you might see a score change or whatever and think it's due to the mentality of the girls, when, really the coaches are doing some very subtle things between those quarters. And, I love the format, like the 8 minutes and then 2 or 3 minutes between quarters. So, it gives the coaches, and that's a tight window, right? Because like in a Super League halftime or whatever, or in a 60-minute game, you'll get like 5 minutes or whatever. So you get a bit more time to get that message across. So I think the coaches, have done really well, and the players as well, sort of making those changes with only 3 minutes. And as I said, we've got 12, 13, 14-year-old girls making really good adjustments, and it's really having an impact on the outcome of these games.
Well, 100%. So let's move into the under 15s. The only disappointing thing about the under 15s is, because they're 15, you can support them, people.
Yeah.
And if I look at that Paul Turnford game in particular, I think what was lacking, especially when Paul were down,
Still available. FBL Streams
was
Live.
kind of a support network. There was not a lot of enthusiasm from the stands to get these girls back into the game, and many didn't turn up, and it was just kind of like that potentially could have been the catalyst for getting the girls back into the game. But all in all, it was a great competition, and we watched Paul play Oldham, and we were sitting there, just appreciating just kind of a Galactico type of style performance. You think of Real Madrid back in the day when they had Figo and Ronaldo, they were called the Galacticos because they were just like an all-star team.
Yeah, Galacticos, but yeah.
Yeah, like the Galacticos. Sorry, my Spanish is not what it used to be.
Knows your English, mate.
Yeah, every other word's a swear word half the time. But we watched that game, Hayden, and it was just perfect netball, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. So, like around the early 2000s, you had a basketball team called the Phoenix Suns, and Mike D'Antoni, their coach, he invented a style called 7 seconds or less. Right. So, like in basketball, you get 24 seconds to shoot, and he's like, no, if we use the full 24 seconds, that gives defenses time to set up. We want to get all our shots off within 7 seconds. And Paul, like Hayley, her team plays like that, 7 seconds or less. Like as soon as they get the ball, they're looking to move it down the court extremely quickly. If they get an intercept or a tip, they win the ball. It's like a Grand Prix. It's like Lewis Hamilton, right? Like when Paul girls go to play netball, they're not wearing netball shoes. They're wearing track spikes.
But like we watched them. Like Oldham had no answer for Paul whatsoever.
None.
Which is quite surprising.
And that's a really good team, right? Look
Yeah,
what
exactly.
Oldham did to Bury in the 3rd-4th game, right? 43-27. So
yeah, precisely. And Bury took Turnford to task in the semi-finals. It was up until the last quarter, they were well in that game.
Yes,
so,
but yeah, we've got some. I've got all my clips to show all this stuff. So
let's do it. Let's do it.
He's eager. Yeah, let's do it.
Want to start?
Right, so we'll start off with the AP Saints against Bury, the overtime game.
Yeah, great game.
Okay, right. So can I?
Yep, I'll put your screen up. There we go. It's been added.
Right, so
it's nice somebody else doing all the video work. This is wicked. Liking this.
So I want to talk about Jesslyn, right? The goal shooter for. Hang on, let me. So Tash was sick. Jesslyn has sort of come into the league. She's not really played netball at a lower level, so she's really been thrown in at the deep end, and we've seen her growing pains at time throughout the season. But Alison's always had a plan for her. And I think, when we look at these results in the league, it's not about results and winning. We're here to develop players, right? And we're here to get these girls to maximize their potential. So you may sort of endure some losses and some tough performances on the way. But to see where Jesslyn's come from the start of the season to where she is now is impressive. So we'll play some clips here of Jesslyn taking some, some feeds and then like a really great shot at the end.
Oh, she got it. Wow, an 80% star on the ball. She looks at the ball.
You wouldn't like when I first saw Jesslyn play. She struggled with the balance of catching the ball and shooting the ball and stuff. But now to put that performance in against a national, a top team like Bury, you've got to give Alison her credit because it's incredible.
Yeah, and as I said, that she's worked with Jesslyn, all year, and so to see all that hard work pay off, and then you're going to see the shot in a moment, at the end of the game.
Was this to draw it? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh,
the Bury players were messing around on the ball. Do you remember?
Yeah. They were just to and fro, weren't they? Bit of time wasting in there.
10 seconds as AP Saints won the ball and a feed into Jesslyn. Can we go to overtime?
I was literally lit up, mate. I was like, they go, whoa! These two, Colin and Hayden, were going crazy. Like, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, so you know, as I said, nearly a huge upset. Bury did manage to pull it around in overtime, but as I said, AP Saints pushed them all the way without one of their best players. Okay, next one we're going to go to Magic.
Okay.
Do you reckon if Tasha was there, that would have been an AP Saints win?
It's hard to say. Jesslyn played so well, right? So, you know, I'd like to think so, but as I said, AP Saints have got a shot against Turnford in this under-15s to show what they can do against one of the elite sides. Okay, so we'll go to Magic now. So Alice, she was playing centre and wing attack for Magic, and we didn't give Magic much chance. Like, you know, in your quiz before, you said Magic were the lowest scoring out of all of the teams across all the age groups going into this finals, right? So we was expecting Oldham to win this game by sort of 20 plus, but like Colin said, she was the second best player that he saw on the day, right? And you've got girls here that are in the Roses program, you know, in Pulse, Manchester Thunder, some of the elite pathways. Like, I don't even know if she's part of a pathway, but I'll just show you a couple of clips of what Alice was doing.
Nice roll up there, buddy, on the top. Oh!
This is Sarah introduced the wing attack for Oldham.
Magic are making a meal of this.
Brilliant. Link in the play there.
Yeah, beautiful.
She was just the catalyst in that whole move, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Won the ball
So
and got the ball down the court.
There's one more.
We talked loads about her actually during the live stream. I got to remember. Yeah, I remember because she was all over the place, wasn't she? She was.
Yeah. So here she takes the ball here and just a quick release. Takes it back here and then.
Because Magic performed so much better than I thought they would do.
Yeah.
As I said, we give a lot of, you know, attention to your Pools and your Oldhams, your Kingsways, but like you can tell with Magic, like they really like took it seriously, right? They were going to come here and give their absolute best.
Yeah.
You know, I imagine they looked at the video. They came with a game plan. They were losing 17-7 at half time, which is good. And the final score was 29-19. So they actually drew the second half against Oldham, like 12-all, which is like incredibly.
That is phenomenal, actually. Yeah. When you put it like that. When you put it like that, definitely.
You know, they've got like Manchester Thunder pathway players like sprinkled across their team, right? And like these Magic girls like really raised their game, you know, on that one. Okay,
well done, Magic.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay,
here.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. So we might see a lot more coming from Magic in the next season then.
And you've got to remember as well, teams like Magic and Paul, they're not blessed to have been able just to replace players year after year. They have to build teams from the age of 11, 12, and they got to stick with those players because unfortunately in those regions, Sussex and Dorset, they're not big netball hubs. Like they're not culturally big, crazy netball fans. So you're dealing. It's a bit like the passion England has for football compared to the passion, I don't know, like America has for football. It's chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
So all right, we'll go to Oldham now. So Shannon Malik, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. But yeah, she was linking up with her teammates and they were doing some very slick passing. So as I said, you've seen Alice from Magic there, like really doing well, like just linking the play and bringing the ball. And the thing is, when she's bringing the ball down the court, she's bringing it through the center of the court. Like that center channel is where you want the ball to be. That's the hardest space to get into. That center channel is the, you know, the space on the court that the coach for Bury will be saying, don't let them get the ball in the middle of the court. And she's literally cut through them like a hot knife through butter. So that was excellent by her. Right, we'll see some Oldham now.
Oh, good play.
Yeah, it's just like the way that they link their passes together, and then there's one. The play of the tournament's going to come up at some point. Let's wait for this next one to come.
Expect the game to be this close. Oh, the excellent speed of ball from Holder.
Oh, she had her head spinning then. Beautiful.
Are we watching netball or are we watching the Grand Prix?
I like that. We're watching netball. We're watching the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I've got to try and keep up with Colin, right?
You had to,
So,
yeah, God, yeah.
Who goes for the long shot?
I think Shannon enjoys the long shot, doesn't she?
She does. But like, I think, yeah, we've got one coming up that's just this ridiculous.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, that was just.
I remember that. I was sitting there going,
but yeah, that's that was the best play of the whole weekend. Like, she didn't even land. Like, the vision to
put that back again, Hayden.
Yeah, we'll show that one again. It's worthy of another look. Yeah.
This is class. Look at this. The thing just pushes it back in the air.
Yeah, it's, you know.
Can I just add, with this under 15s this year, I'm so glad you've done the league, right? We've had at the end of the south, end of season, five cameras on, right? I was gutted we didn't have 5 cameras on each court for the grand finals, yeah, but obviously, blah blah blah. I've got a brand new camera that can. Hayden,
yeah,
went through enough on it with you, didn't I? About it, how much I love my camera. Even Hayden done some camera work, by the way. Yeah, help me out. It can spin on a penny. I am not joking. How fast they have improved, yeah, and how fast they played. There was one, Paul versus Turnford, where they passed it in front of the camera, like left to right, really that quick, and it was like behind by about a millisecond. It was just like phenomenal play. The gameplay this whole weekend, you know, especially with the under 15s, it's definitely sped up, and they've learned some new tricks, and you know, analysis is definitely part of it. It's got to be. They've got to be studying and improving and checking on what their opponents are doing. But that sort of gameplay was just amazing.
Yeah, and then the last one from Oldham, they were doing. Okay. But yeah, Oldham, just like the give and goes and the one touch passing and just the instant release was like. So like they're doing all this stuff, right? But then.
Oh.
So yeah, so that was Oldham, right? Then they came up against Poole, right? So we've seen all of this stuff. We thinking it's going to be competitive.
Oh yeah,
but
it started off competitive.
But then yeah, Poole, like I mean, I've only got one clip from Poole from this game because I'm going to go show some more Poole from the final. But like just the speed at which Poole played, they ran Oldham into the ground. Like Sasha, she's sending Ubers to the Oldham players' houses to make sure they turn up to the games. It's and then even when Sasha went off and Olivia came on, like just the wing defenses for Oldham, they got obliterated. Like they I think they went through 3 in the game, but yeah, it was tremendous. So this is just
there's an element of kind of unpreparedness, if that's a word.
Absolutely.
Oh, not even a thought there, mate. Straight in there. Reply.
So, are we actually saying like I cannot fathom how a team with England internationals would come into that game knowing full well that there's a high chance they're going to play Poole Netball Club and not kind of be ready for what's coming, because there's no way you can cipher through that catalogue of live stream and not work out how Poole plays. So they must have done something.
No, but the thing is, it's one thing to well, like even you can see on my screen, right? Can you see all the Turnford girls in the top right, like looking on, right, getting prepared for who they're going to face in the final. Right?
I never noticed that.
Fully focused, right? But like it's one thing to look it on a live stream, but it's another thing to experience it in person, right? So it was 9-9 after the end of the first quarter, but I think the mistake that Oldham made is they tried to get in a track and field competition with Poole, and you ain't going to win a running competition with Poole. Like whereas when we see what Turnford do, they try to play the game at their pace, not at Poole's pace, right? And then would
you say Turnford sit back more?
They don't sit back. Well, I think familiarity. I think I would say, like talent-wise, Turnford just have a little bit more in terms of Coco and Zanea. And then these, you know, these girls for Turnford, they're playing MPL under 17s, they're playing MPL under 19s, right? So Sam Bird's working with them at Pulse, at Turnford. They're playing some of the elite men's team in the country. Like, they're getting so much netball, right? They're kind of like pulling away from the competition. But that still doesn't mean that Paul can't compete. And actually, like, looking at the video, I found a few things that Paul, if they play them again, or when AP Saints play them, you know, in this cup competition, can potentially do to upset what Turnford does. Because the way I look at it, Kingsway under 12s and under 13s, they're a better netball team than Turnford. They just do more netball stuff.
Richard, I'm snipping that and I'll put that on my channel.
Explain.
Before we get to that,
In the comments, people, if you agree with this.
Right,
This is great.
Right, we're getting to right. Let's, before we get to Paul against Stafford in the final, I've got a little bit of Berry as well. So let's see this one.
I hope you got some of Maisie's freestyling, because she was freestyling.
I've got one. But yeah, right, okay.
That's the magic free passes, Hayden, isn't it?
See, so, but this play is kind of a look into what went wrong for Paul in the Turnford game, right? So if I just show that again, you see, you know, Izzy Todd. So you see how far she drives out from the circle here.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, the reason Paul are able to play so quickly is, like, Izzy will like exit the circle, and then like you see Ella driving in under the post, right, replacing her there, and they move the ball so quickly, like you don't know if Izzy's going to shoot or drive out, if Ella's going to be the one coming in. You've got Gracie coming in, you've got Sasha driving down, like, so, like, the fact that Turnford have played against Paul so many times, like, not just watching, it's one thing to watch it on a live stream, but it's another to feel it in person, right? They've played, after this game, they've played each other 8 times this year. So Turnford are better prepared, right, for what Paul has to offer. Whereas Oldham, I don't know how if they play Paul this season. Where
is the other defender here for Oldham? And they seem to only have the goalkeeper there. Where did the goal defence?
So this is the thing, right, Helm. So we go back to the centre pass. Okay, so, right, I think this is the goal defence for Oldham. Like, so I was talking about earlier with the under 12s and under 13s, the goal defence and the wing defence, they get up the court to challenge the centre pass, right? The Kingsway, they don't give you any freebies. But the disadvantage of that is when you move up the court to challenge the centre pass, you're leaving space in behind you for the second phase, okay? So these Oldham defenders are rushing up the court to contest the first one, but now you see Ella, the goal attack. She's gone.
Yeah, I see it.
Right, she's gone. So the thing is as well, when you run up and challenge the first one, your weight still needs to be backwards so that you can get back and challenge Ella for this second one, or third one, as it's going to be, right? So if you just blindly rush up the court to challenge the centre pass, your momentum will keep taking you up the court. So what the elite goal defenders and wing defenders do is they get up the court to challenge it, but they actually keep their weight backwards so that they're able to go forward and then get back quickly onto their player. But what you see here is the Oldham players have gone up too far, and you can actually, before it even happens, you can just see like the space that Izzy's got and the space that Ella's got here. It's over. Like, it's over now. All right.
Why tell me this? Why doesn't that Oldham defender? Why don't she read that? Because Izzy's not a danger at that point. She's a million
so
miles
now
away.
we're gonna get onto what Zanea does in that situation. We've got that coming up, Richard. We've got that coming up.
Do you know what? I wish he had one of those touch pads where he could circle, show the arrows, because that's what I feel like this is all what this needs.
And Richard said that's a very good point. So what you're saying basically is, because Izzy's a goal shooter, when she goes all the way out there, she's not a threat to score. So why does the goalkeeper need to go out there? Why the goalkeeper should stay home and
she's just making Izzy's decision for her.
Exactly, right. So again, and so when you're talking about football, Right, and this is where the video analysis comes in, right? Because we're looking at elite netball players here, right? We're looking at Oldham and Poole. We're looking at players in Bath, Pulse, Thunder, Pathways, right? But when you look at this stuff and slow-mo it and replay it, you can see things that these elite players that are part of the Roses program and, that these Pathways can do, to improve their games, right? So if we go back a bit, so it's a bad situation because it's kind of a 2-on-1 here, right? So you've got Izzy with the ball and you've got Ella coming to the post. So this is a good situation for Paul, but you need to be conscious of what you want to give up, right? So if you leave Izzy alone, maybe, and go on Ella, maybe Izzy will look for Sasha and try and do a give and go and play herself in, but that's going to take 2 passes, right? So probably she will still score, but that's probably like 80%, right? But whereas if you let Izzy, if you just give it to, exactly. If you just let Ella take this ball under the post, she's probably going to shoot like 92, 93% from there, right? So it's like, right, we want to give up the 75% option. We don't want to give up the 93% option. So then you're talking about sort of marginal gains, and then you're talking about what video analysis is for, right? It's sort of, we've got elite players here. I think it's Natoya, the goalkeeper for Oldham. And then you just use the video analysis just to, refine these elite players and just to get them squeeze that sort of extra 5-10% out of their performance. So, in this situation, she needs to leave Izzy and say, right, Izzy, you play yourself in. I'm going to stick on Ella under the post. And that just gives us an extra 15-20% chance of getting success.
Because those Oldham players, they still got a good chance of winning that ball back.
No.
No, I'm saying if she allows Izzy just to play the ball to say Sasha to then feed herself in, they've still got a chance, but they haven't got no chance if she just allows the ball to be played over her head.
Look at hang on, no. Right, look at these Oldham defenders. Number one, as a defender, you don't want to be looking at your own post, right? You want to be looking towards like where you want to score, and you want to be able to block and do stuff like that. You've got like the center, the goal defense, and I think it's the other center. They're all chasing back to their own net, right? So the Oldham defense has already been shredded at this point. So you've been shredded, but the point of view from the goalkeeper is, let's give up the 80% chance. Let's make Izzy play herself in rather than just give it straight to Ella under the post. So Oldham is shredded at this point. But as I said, and you get like an extra. So if we say she's 93% under the post, but whereas like if Izzy plays herself in, that's like I don't know, 75, 80%. You've given yourself an extra like 0.15 or whatever.
No, for
literally
me,
like 0.15 of a goal. But like if you can get an extra like 0.2 or on every possession, right, it can add up to sort of 4 or 5 points over the course of a game, which can be the difference between winning and losing at this level.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I agree. Right. Let's move on to the next analysis.
Right. We'll move on. We've
got people who might want to replay this a few times to get that.
So I could have some more of Maisie. I've just got one clip of her, but like, so
what did Berry do really well against Turnford? Because they had him on the run for a good half of that game.
Berry have good centre passes. They had Maisie. Like Turnford, their wing attacks and their goal attacks struggle to get off the line and get centre passes, which is why their wing defence and their goal defence have to do so much of the heavy lifting, right? So Turnford have certain things that but I hear they're getting some new players. So I think Sam's like in the transfer market looking to sort of upgrade her wing attack position.
Alice, look out.
But like we'll get to the weakness of Turnford, but let's show. But basically, like Berry are better at centre passes than Turnford. So the game was level at half time, right? Because of stuff like. So yeah, we see a rare miss from Coco. And again, similar to what you saw from Alice earlier.
Maisie was just running the show in the first half she was, but then kind of faded in the second half.
Okay, so it was tied at half time, right? Berry's better on centre passes. They have a better wing attack. Like Turnford's strength is Brogan, Daisy, Coco, and Zanea, right? but their real strength is at goalkeeper and goal shooter, right? Daisy is an excellent feeder, but when she's playing at wing attack, she's not really like doing all these moves and getting centre passes. So that's the weakness of Turnford. But in the second half, Turnford made some big plays on defense. So we've got a next video here. It's a sequence of Turnford sort of intersections and possession gains, which changed this game. So, yeah, there was a little tip there. Okay.
You really did go to town on all this, didn't you? Oh,
Zanaya does that about 50 times in the day.
Yeah, you can see that one again. Yeah.
She reads it so well, doesn't she?
Yes.
She's got an eye. She's got an eye for those cross balls, hasn't she?
Exactly. And like these intercepts, like you can see they leave Colin, he's like gasping for air, right? She just comes from nowhere. And there's Brogan with another one. So you can see the score's 4 now. Or the lead's 4. And then
Again, that was a big play, because I think Berry had a centre pass after that as well.
Yeah.
So this was a defining moment in the whole game. I actually remember this bit.
All right, and then I think there's one more to come.
Because in these type of games, tipping the ball and getting interceptions is so crucial.
This is the best one. You see Brogan just coming through there.
come straight from out of nowhere, didn't she?
She came from
a massive
absolute
jump. If you
nowhere.
rewind it, you see she does a massive jump.
Right. So look where Brogan is and look where the goal defense is. Right. You see the space there.
Yeah.
So it's just.
So she's read it well.
She's read it, and she's let her feet. You can see she's already in a sprint, right?
Yeah.
She's already in a sprint, and that player hasn't released the ball, and she's not seen her. She's got eyes for the goal defense only, and that's the fatigue as well, right? Maybe in the first half, when you're a bit fresher, you see Brogan coming, but when you're in these intense games and the pressure comes and fatigue sets in, like the peripheral vision and just, and remember Brogan's not super tall either, right? So Brogan's kind of a little bit below the eye line there, right? And she's just literally come through, bang,
boom,
bang.
And then she's ready to.
Yeah, and this is
that's what comes with playing many hours of netball. You start to read the game.
Yeah, and like this one was so good. Like I don't know if you could see on the video, but like literally Daisy starts clapping her. Look, so yeah, Colin's like, yeah, she came from Adelaide for that one. So yeah. So basically the teams were close. Berry is slightly, has an advantage at wing attack with Maisie, and they're slightly better structured offensively on the centre pass. But Turnford have the ability to make these explosive plays on defense, and it's not just Zanaya. We see Brogan with one there. I think we saw the first one was the wing attack or goal attack, getting a little tip on the ball. We're going to see Ella make one later. Like they make explosive plays. And mentally, you're getting close to Turnford's goal. You think you're about to score, and then bang. And then when they win it, they get the ball very quickly down to Coco and score. And it's just, it's
would you say it's the equivalent in football of a counter-attacking team?
Exactly that. Yes.
So they kind of soak up the pressure. What they do is they frustrate, intercept, then bang, off they go.
Yeah, so they're correct. They're creating pressure, right? So even Days, if she's playing centre or wing attack, the goal attack, they're creating pressure up front, right? And that's enabling like Zanaya, Ella, and as I said, even the last one, that ball was, Coco missed a shot or whatever, and Brogan intercepted that ball before it even crossed the halfway. So they have the ability to make explosive plays that change games. Okay, right. So now we can get on to the final. So we've got some, right. So, right. Just let me go to my notes from the final. Okay. So I'm looking at these first 7 centre passes for Turnford. Ella, goal attack, Ella, Brogan at wing defence, Brogan at wing defence, Brogan at wing defence. right? So Paul, as a defensive unit, 8 centre passes, and you force the defenders to take 7 of them. That's excellent, right? You're supposed to be winning the game. If you're forcing them backwards off the centre pass 7 out of 8 times, you're supposed to be winning the game. Turnford was winning the game 8-1, right? So the theme of this match was both teams create pressure. Oh, yeah, okay, we're going to get to it. I've just paused it. Sorry, let me get the...
Sorry.
All right. Let me get the Turnford up. Okay. Okay, let me... Hang on, I have it here.
So I'd love to know the statistics. Just say in an international game, Hayden, because that's you help Jamaica with their analysts and stuff like that.
Yes.
How often would you break down the play if the ball goes back off the centre pass?
Okay, so centre pass to goal, like 75% is sort of a benchmark, right? So if you have a centre pass, you want to be scoring 75% of the time.
And how out of that 75%, how many of the plays will go backwards on the centre pass?
So, like most teams, right? So if you look at England, they have Nat, right? So these elite teams, you have, like Connie says, the best player on your team is your wing attack, right? And I know you in these sessions previously, if I highlight, does Daisy Lees play wing attack? Yeah, right. So Connie sometimes in her practices will say to the wing attack, take every centre pass. Like literally, she doesn't tell the defence, but it will be like Khadija will go and get like 15 centre passes in a row. Like if you're a wing attack, that's your job. Get the centre pass. Even if you're double teamed, get the centre pass. That puts the other team under pressure, because now if you're the wing attack and you're getting every centre pass, now the centre has to come and help the wing defence to stop you. So now if the centres and the wing defence is on the wing attack, now you as a centre taking the centre pass, you've got more space to go down the court. That means the goal attack is now one-on-one. Right, so this is what Turnford is lacking: an explosive wing attack that can get centre passes and get them into their offence quicker. But at the moment, they're still the best team in the country because Ella is doing a great job taking, in this game, more centre passes than anyone else on the team, right? Out of 28 centre passes, Ella took 10. No professional netball team has a goal defence taking like 36 or 37% of their centre passes. Okay, so if you're a goal attack and you're playing Turnford, you need to pressure Ella.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, ooh, that's a little bit meaty.
Lauren and Alison, who might be playing these in the cup event, just writing that down.
Yeah. That's it. You know it, mate. They're not writing it, mate. They're you know, I mean,
how
communicating.
Come on, Paul have played Turnford enough, to surely be aware of that.
Okay, well,
but you're saying Paul actually did a good thing by the
ball going. Paul did a good thing in terms of they take the centre. We're going to show. I've got a lot of clips here. That Turnford take the centre pass. They go to the wing defence or the goal defence a lot. Paul actually forced them backwards. They hold up the play. Sometimes they even forced the ball all the way back to Zanea, but Turnford managed to wriggle out of it. And the reason they managed to wriggle out of it is because Coco will come out of the circle, right, and relieve the pressure. Goal shooters, like, and we're talking sort of 11, 12, 13, maybe they're thinking about, right, my role as a goal shooter is to get the ball under the post and shoot, right? Let the wing attack in the centre do the work. Let them get the ball to circle edge, deliver me the ball. And my job is to, work on my split landing, work on my shooting. Now, an elite goal shooter like Coco, she can take the ball at the edge of the circle, right? When she takes the ball at the edge of the circle, oftentimes, because she's pivoting on her left foot, she's always throws it to the right side, right? So I've got a few clips here. Coco will come take it, and always it's going to the right pocket, never to the left pocket, because she's right-handed and she pivots on her left foot. But she's a problem solver. She's not just a shooter. So when the ball is in the mid-court, around the sort of the centre line or the attacking transverse line, Coco is reading the play and she's thinking, ideally, I'd like to stay in the circle, but if my teammates come under pressure, I might need to come out. Whenever Coco comes out, she's getting the ball because, like, the goalkeeper's not in front of her. So Let's get to some clips now, Zanaya, and we'll say what went wrong for Paul in the beginning of the game because Turnford opened up a 10-point advantage.
This
This is phenomenal.
But this is
hang on. We need to stop this stream. Go to FBL Streams Live. I create a pay-per-view for this because this is worth every penny, mate. Just
okay. So this actually, so to all of our young girls watching, like, so sometimes when you're doing a video session, like what we've done so far, we'll just go through, Shalom Malik's doing great, Maisie's doing great, sort of running around, feeding, running all over the court, Alice for Magic, and you just sort of run through it. Then you get to a clip like this, and literally the girls will sit and talk about a clip like this for like 10 or 15 minutes.
Hayden,
right?
can you move your mouse over the people you're talking about?
Okay, yeah, that would be good. Okay, right.
Does it show if you do it? Because it might not.
Here? Yeah, I could probably make...
Oh, no, I think we can.
I'll go into settings and make my mouse...
Yeah. If you circle it, move it around the people, we can actually see it. When
you can see it there,
yeah, there you go. That's it. Oh,
so this is the quiz. This is the one that the girls can look at and they can put stuff in the chat, right? So we got a free pass here for I think it's a free pass for Paul. There's a lot happening here, right? So we've got both Ellas here, Paul Ella the shooter and Turnford Ella at goal defense. We've got Zanaya, we've got Izzy, and we've got Sasha setting a hold on Brogan. All of these 6 players and the passer have a key role as to what's going to happen in the next 4 seconds. Okay, right. So looking at, I think it's Gracie here taking that, she's about to pass the ball. Where do you think this ball's going to go?
Where that girl's got her hand showing.
Okay, right. So that's Sasha there. Correct answer, right? So that's Sasha. She's setting a little hold on Brogan and she's looking to take the ball in the pocket somewhere near circle edge around here. You can see my mouse?
Yep.
Okay. Any problems with that?
No, because she can get it into space and feed Izzy, who's going to come around the back as Zanaya.
What about the goalkeeper? Sending she running into the space?
Okay, yeah, I'm probably a little bit...
goal shooter, isn't it? Goalkeeper.
Right, yeah, goal shoot. Okay, and actually, right. So, and what about Ella as well? Right, so... Ideally, as the goal attack, as Paul Ella, the goal attack, you'd want to be on the... See, one thing as goal shooter, we talked about Coco coming out to relieve pressure. Like, another role is you have to protect your mid-court players, right? So not all goalkeepers are capable of flying like Zanaya, but when you're talking about a Shamira Sterling, a Fumi Fadoju, a Halimat, right? These goalkeepers, they're not just there to stop the goal shooter, right? These goalkeepers are there to go and fly out to the edge of the circle when wing attacks and centers are getting the ball. Okay, so right, if we play a little bit, okay, if you look at the movement of Paul Ella here, she's moved which direction?
Forward, backwards, well, away from her goal.
Away, right? So she's actually taken Turnford Ella in that direction, right? Which is protecting the pocket. But if we look at the movement of Izzy, the Paul shooter, where's she taken Zanaya? Yeah, Izzy's made a slight movement into the pocket, into the same space that Sasha's about to take this ball. Now it looks like Sasha's got a lot of space, right?
Yeah. No, wow, where'd she come from?
That's what I'm saying. I told you she was moving.
You would never have guessed that in a million years. I thought there was so much space in behind there.
So much space, right? So much space.
Why are they throwing the ball like that? It's so high for her to come and collect.
No. Sasha's done her job. Sasha, remember, like, you want to give Sasha some time. She set the little...
Can't we just bounce past that into there?
No. You don't throw a bounce back. You see where my mouse is? Sasha ideally wants to take this ball at circle edge, right? Which you see my mouse is here, okay? So that ball needs to go in. But the thing is, if you look at Gracie, Zanaya's kind of hidden there, right? Zanaya's kind of hidden there behind Ella, right? So Gracie, she can't really see Zanaya there. So what Izzy needs to do is kind of either be like ball side of Zanaya so that Sasha can take this ball cleanly, or move in the same direction that Paul Ella goal attack does, which makes Zanaya go to her.
You mean
left.
dummy it so that Zanaya follows, yeah?
Yeah. But the thing is, if you give Zanaya like space, and the thing is, it's just a slight movement from Izzy. It's not a big mistake, and she actually recognizes what's going to happen, right? Because you see her stop. You see Izzy stop here.
Yeah.
She stopped, and she's actually like, oh, and it's like a car crash. Like she's seen the car crash now. See where the ball is now, right?
Yeah.
So Izzy now, right? She's seen her mistake, and she's like, oh, right, and she's now moved to the move in the other direction of where Zanaya is going, but it's too late. And that's why we're talking about Zanaya as like England Netball under 16s MVP, ENG under 15s MVP. Like her ability to close, even looking at it now, do you think Zanaya is going to get this ball?
No.
Not in a million years.
It looks impossible, right?
But I remember this, and she just gets it. Yeah, she just it's like
And
in midair. It's like they're like an eagle coming down, just grabbing what they want.
She doesn't even tip it. She gets it with two hands. Like normal goalkeepers miss this ball, or they get like a tip on it and it goes out of play and it'll still be Paul's ball. But Zanaya, you're talking about a different level of athlete, right? But it's not just her athleticism, it's her ability to read the play, whether it's intentional or not. Her starting position, she's slightly hidden behind, right? If we go back, she's slightly hidden behind both Ellas here, so Gracie can't see her. Like she's hidden. So it's no one's really making a mistake. Gracie's not really making a mistake. Sasha's made the hole. Like Izzy's kind of there. It's a very minute detail that Izzy can improve on being ball side. But again, that's why you do your video analysis to squeeze out that extra 2 or 3%, right? But Zanaya has come from nowhere. She moves so fast. If you actually, when she catches the ball, she actually catches it behind her. If you see here, right?
Yeah,
she actually catches that ball on the right-hand side of her body.
Great
right?
stop on the video, by the way.
It's an incredible. That plays up there with sort of Shannon's pass as the player of the tournament. Yeah, and Sasha's actually, I think, got 2 hands on this ball, and Zanaya's just ripped it out of her and said, "No, thank you, that's mine." Yeah?
Like I said,
and then you see Izzy like feeling bad because like those kind of just a slight mistake, it can, and Sasha can't see that she's not seen Zanaya, and all of a sudden Zanaya's on top of her, and it's like, what the hell just happened? Yeah, and like these plays change games.
Yeah, they're already 4-1 up, so bang, there you go.
Yeah,
wow.
Did you hear Colin there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Andrex clean. Okay, right. Then we're gonna go to next one. I think this is similar.
So how often would Paul go backwards in a centre pass?
Yeah, sometimes, but Paul's centre passes are better than Turnford's. Turnford's centre passes are not good.
Rewind that a bit. Rewind that. Honestly, this jump. She just jumps. Zanaya, this isn't it? Zanaya.
But this is the thing. Like netball games are won, and they're not really won lost so much in the middle third. Right? Netball games are won and lost in the attacking third and the defensive third. Right. So the same way that Paul is forcing Turnford back. We haven't really shown many Turnford centre passes. But when the ball gets down here, right, and so this is
even at this point, you're thinking, this is never going to get.
There's 2 open players. There's 2 open players.
See her reading it. You can see her reading it right now.
So, and we're going to see an adjustment by Haley in the second quarter, right? This is like the 7 seconds or less attack. This is the style of attack that allows you to score 44 points against Oldham. But when you've got Zanaya at goalkeeper, right? So if you look, we can see Zanaya here, right? You can see Zanaya here.
Yep. On the
and
right.
Then Izzy, so when Izzy comes out the circle, so when Coco comes out the circle, she usually comes like in the middle of the court and presents. And that's kind of a bit safer because it keeps the goalkeeper behind her. Now, when Izzy exits the circle, she tends to exit to the channels, right? She'll go to the right channel or the left channel. And then what happens is Ella drives in and takes the ball under the post. Okay. So the advantage with that is you can play really quick, fast netball. The fastest netball actually in the country, right? So Paul are the highest scorers in your league, under 12s, under 13s, under 14s, under 15s, north, south, whatever. They're the highest scorers. And a big part of that is what Izzy is doing here. And then the previous clip we showed against Oldham, right, with Izzy driving out and swinging it to Ella under the post. They're trying the same formula here. But this isn't Natoya, the Oldham goalkeeper. This is like Zanea Cunningham, one of the best players in the country. So when you don't have a body on Zanea, you're just allowing her here. She can just roam. Like literally, she can do what she wants. And you can see here as well where the ball is. She's slightly hidden.
Yeah,
like,
but you know what? That's something I've never ever thought of.
What?
Your attacker is not just there to score goals, but to block the path
Yes,
of the
exactly.
goalkeeper trying to make interceptions.
Right.
I've never thought of that before.
Okay. Well, again, you know.
So Hayden,
yeah.
was a big mistake of Paul's not integrating that into their match play.
No, it's not a mistake because we're going to get to the second quarter in a minute, and we're going to talk about the changes that Hayley made after this first quarter, right? Because Poole were down 10 at one point, and they cut it to 5 at half time. And what she did was she didn't change Izzy, but she asked her to play a little bit differently. Okay, but this what they're doing now is what enabled them to score 44 points against Oldham, and for us to say that's probably the best performance of any team over the weekend. But against Turnford, against Zanea, it's the cause of your destruction, right? So this is why, like in netball, like coaching, it has such a high value, right? So, you know, if anyone wants to know, we're going to show some stuff from the second quarter. If anyone wants to know why you have Hayley doing your workshops, right? Why Hayley is coaching like Pulse, MPL under 19s. When you see how destructive Zanea has been in the first quarter and the changes that Izzy's going to make in these next clips I'm going to show, you will understand why these are elite coaches, right? And remember, the coach he's going up against is Sam Bird, whose team is top of the Vitality Super League, right? So we're talking about like a masterclass of coaching players. Like the quality of netball we're seeing here is as good as what you would see in the Super League. It's just a shame that more people don't come to see it or come and see it on the live stream, but like hopefully that will grow.
Live stream's still available if people want it. FBLstreamslive.com.
Again, this one. So again, you see Izzy here. Like normally against mere mortals, Izzy just comes and get this ball and slings it into Ella under the post and Paul score. But you have a clear and present danger, and you can see. Look at her steps. Look at her eyes. Look at her momentum, where she's looking to take her body. All right. Look. She just has a little stop, and then she sees she's off. Look how far the ball is out of.
Yeah, exactly. The ball's just been launched, hasn't it? So
Zanea's on the run already. Yeah. So maybe I can go back. Yeah. So she's here. Hang on. Right. Actually, the ball hasn't been released from her hands, and Zanea's off. The ball has not been released from the wing defense's hand. I think her name's Freya. Zanea's already on the move. Yeah. She's not released the ball.
She was on the move about a second ago. Yeah.
Yeah, she's already taken had that big stride, right? Ready.
She knows she's worked out what's going on, isn't she?
Right. Yeah. And so when you're talking about like the best player in the country, this is what they're capable of, right? Bang.
Straight in front, no chance.
Yeah. Is it like, so it's not just that athleticism, the speed, the jumping ability, but it's also the intelligence, right? Yeah. Okay, so right, we're going to get to the second quarter now. So Turnford was winning by 10, I think, at some point in the second quarter. Okay, now we see Paul bringing the ball through the court here. Now, before, what Izzy was doing and what she was doing against Oldham was she was driving out. Like when she's driving out the circle, she's driving out here, and then Ella's coming in to replace her, and they're sort of rotating the circle. Let's see the adjustment that Hayley's made at the end of the first quarter. Okay, you see Izzy Todd's position? Yep. With Zanea?
Yeah. She's got her marked.
Right. Is she moving? Is she moving? No, is she driving up? Like what she's staying put. So what do you think Hayley was saying to her between the first and the second quarter? She's saying, stay home, because by going out...
Can I answer it?
Yeah. My God, you made it so Richard couldn't answer quick enough.
Yeah.
No, she's saying keep her occupied so she doesn't come in and set the balls all the time.
Right, exactly that. Keep her occupied. Stay closer to the post. Let's just kind of, keep Zanaya under wraps. We don't really need you to go out there because like Sasha and Gracie, they have the ability to get the ball in the pocket. So it's just a slight tactical adjustment by Paul. Okay, so you see Izzy, like, so you see she's closer to the net, right? She's not really looking to, yeah.
So she's keeping it busy, right?
Yeah. And then I'll show one other.
I suppose you have to keep her by the net because obviously by keeping her tied up, she can't leave. She can't leave her because if she does, obviously then they're just going to throw the ball and into the goal it goes.
Right. So So
phenomenal. We reckon, Richard.
How much of an impact did Zanaya have in that whole narrative of that game?
Oh, we can show some more clips of Zanaya. Like they're scared to shoot when she's around. So massive. Like, okay. Okay. Let me freeze it back here. Okay. Right. So, okay. Can you see? Okay, get this. Sorry, it's a little bit blurry. Right, you can see my mouse. Can you see Zanaya and Izzy here in the corner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now when Izzy exits the circle, if you notice, she's actually like on Zanaya's body, right?
Yeah.
So because Izzy's got this nice front position on Zanaya here, that means Zanaya can't run out and hunt those balls, right? So whereas in the first quarter, like Izzy's just kind of run out there without really being conscious of what Zanaya's doing. I think what Haley would have told her at the end of the first quarter is, we still want you to come out a little bit because that's the Paul sort of style of play. We still play this fast attacking netball, but your starting position needs to be on the body, right? So because her starting position's on the body here, when she does come out now, can you see it just stops Zanaya, right? She wasn't able to get those big strides in, right? Can you see there's a nice little... She's still looking to hunt. Yeah, she's still looking to hunt, but because Izzy's starting position is better, she gets that ball. Yeah. So when things are going bad and you say it's like the team's mentally weak and Turnford was up 10 and they're mentally weak and that's why sort of Paul pulled it back to 5. That could be the answer, but like looking at this breakdown, it's a coach who's had 2 or 3 minutes between the quarters and she's not changed Izzy, but she said, right, Izzy, this is what we've done against Oldham that's brought us success, but against Zanaya, we need to do things slightly differently. I want you to hold your position more in the middle of the court. And when you do come to the side of the court, I want you to have a starting position on Zanaya's body so that you've got that space here to go and get the ball so that Zanaya can't come hunting. Yeah. Elite coaching. But as I said, Richard, that's why you employ Haley to do your workshops, right? She's an elite coach. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have some in May. So if you want to sign up to
there you go, right.
May the 30th.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Book now while spaces are still available. Yeah.
Okay, right. And then we're just about to. It's getting long, but okay. We just got some clips from Paul now. Okay, let me get rid of this, and then we're about to wrap it up. So Paul, as I said, Haley's subtle adjustment, not a personnel change, but just giving our shooter a bit of information to say do things differently. And then, right, let's see what these clips show.
This is why you bring FBL in, to make sure you get your wonderful live streams so that Hayden can analyze it to this extent.
Okay, so this is Paul in the second quarter, down 10 at this point. So even though like Haley's made the changes, I think they missed a couple of shots and Turnford extended the lead to 10 points. But you see Paul here. This is Paul netball. Bang.
I didn't even see him swap the ball there. They're that quick.
Yeah.
Honestly, you got to understand that I'm on the camera, and I'm following them, and I didn't even see him do the swap. It was that quick and that sort of hidden. It's mad. Sorry.
Yeah, and she made some changes. I think we see, So you see Olivia at wing attack now, and you see Sasha at goal attack, which wasn't how they started. But so Paul, they've told Izzy, right, stay on Zanaya, stop Zanaya hunting. Once they've solved that problem, now they can play the Paul brand of netball. Yeah.
Great speed there, great cuts and drives from Olivia.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one. And you see, like Izzy, she's just when she's moving, she's not completely abandoned the exiting, but she's just more conscious of what Zanea is doing, right? She's just again, and I think this one's a big. Okay, let's play this song.
We see Ella reintroduce a goal attack.
Oh, just phenomenal.
Right, and that's Paul netball, right? That's Paul netball. The intercept, brilliant intercept by Freya, and they move the ball up the court quickly. But in order to do that, in order to score the points, you have to solve Zanea, and that just meant just a little tweak with Izzy, just getting her to play slightly differently than what she's accustomed to.
So if you were coaching a team, just say you're coaching AP Saints against Turnford in the Cup, your message would be to your shooter who's being marked by Zanea is to get in front of her to stop the interception.
And it's Tash. What that's hard for Jesslyn to do. But for Tash, you say and remember Tash trains with Zanea at Pulse, right? So they know each other well. So if I could design a shooter to say stay in front of Zanea and stop her from hunting, Tash would be like in my top sort of 3 in the country. She has the characteristics to stay in front of Zanea, get the ball, and stop Zanea hunting. Like perfect. You couldn't ask for a better shooter. Yeah. But Coco as well. I see all this stuff I'm saying, right, this is what you need to do to solve Zanea. I wonder when Zanea and Coco play against each other, like how Coco solves that problem. Because obviously a lot of the time with Pulse and
that'd be interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this and then
when you look at the back of the court, you saw Zanea, but then Coco was just dominating the front of the court, weren't she?
Yeah, so we've got some. I think we've got some Coco coming up. So this was right. I don't want to be, but yeah. So this was kind of symptomatic of Paul.
So at this point, we thought Paul were back in this.
Yeah, right. So this is in the third quarter. You see Turnford bringing the ball up, and then you see Paul exerting their defence to force the ball backwards. Yeah. So you see Paul force the ball all the way back to Zanea, right? When you're a defence and you force the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper, like you've got to turn that into interceptions. You've got to like the Turnford attack is really like in trouble here because you forced it backwards. Like the combinations between sort of centre wing attack, they're all jumbled up, right? So Turnford's scrambling at this moment. They've got the ball, but they're scrambling. And the difference in the game is when Turnford create pressure, and we saw in the previous game as well when Turnford played Bury, you've got Brogan flying through for tips, Ella, Zanea, like a cast of people making big plays. But when Paul create the initial pressure defensively, they're just not quite able to convert it into like turnovers. Yeah.
I'm going to say, leave the commentary on.
Okay. Yeah.
Great pass.
Yeah.
I love watching that shot of the ball going in. Sorry, it's just a cameraman work on me. That's
okay, I think so. So yeah, so it's like you force the ball all the way. Right, and then I think this was. And then this was the closest that Paul got in the game, right? So they got it to within 4. They got that interception with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. But
this was big. This was a big play. This was
big play. This was the game because this was a chance for them to cull it to 3 and have their centre pass.
They threw it back to him.
But Brogan. Yeah. And so
that was a big moment in the game. That was.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the closer, right? If you what are we done? I've got some Coco as well. If you want a few minutes of Coco.
Go on.
She was
Well, I want to get your because we've gone a bit too late. We won't have a lot of time to delve into it, but I would like to get your thoughts, Hayden, on this.
Okay. You can cancel my screen now. I don't need to share my screen now, Mike.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
I thought you were going to show some cocoa while he was talking.
We're going to
some cocoa while he's
before
talking.
we go. I spoke to a few coaches. Well, some poor coaches looked exhausted on the weekend. And it's because of parent pressure and trying to get the children to play. And we know it's a big competition. We know everyone wants to play. It is, it's the finale even though it's not long because it's only 5-day commitment, but it does seem long because you have all the marketing, you have all the review shows. It drags out in that way.
Entertained out that way.
Yeah, they look exhausted because they're trying to manage expectation, and it's what. How do coaches kind of manage that? Because it seems unrelenting. It doesn't seem there's a realistic view of what's going on here. Because I had to tell, like, someone the other day was talking to me about how frustrated they were about parents messaging them after the competition, saying they wanted to kind of get some feedback about why their child didn't play or why they didn't play in a certain position. And I said, these parents have got to remember, this is the equivalent of a Man United, Man City Academy League.
Yeah. This is dealing with 11 and 12 and 13 and 14-year-old children.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have this problem at a football academy. Man City, Man United wouldn't have to deal with parents moaning at them. Those players all play.
Netball has a problem. I come from a football background, right? So netball has a problem with goal difference, having goal difference in the leagues, right? So typically in a football game, if I'm winning like 4 or 5-0, and I coach 10-year-old girls at the moment. If the game's safe, I put my subs on, I start changing their positions. Maybe the striker plays in defense, all that kind of stuff, and we're not really looking to run up the score. Netball leagues have goal difference. Child netball leagues have goal difference. Your netball league has goal difference, right? So even some of the games at the end of the season, potentially if it was level on points, it could come down to goal difference, being a 1 or 2 seed or whatever. So what the netball leagues need to do is they need to cap the goal difference that you can get from one game. Just like cap it at 20. Just say, like, if you win by 20 or 30 or 40, it just counts at 20. So that way, when a team's up like 30...
Richard's not liking that. He's like, nah.
Yeah, but Richard likes the other suggestion, which is the team that scores, the other team gets the centre pass.
I like that. I like that idea.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, definitely want to bring that in. Bring that, definitely. Let us know in the comments, people, what you think.
It will keep the scores.
Mixed netball has that rule.
Realistic.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Maybe not. What I'm trying to make is as a parent going to one of these competitions, are you expecting your child to play a certain amount of time, regardless of whether that causes the team to lose? Or is it my experience of playing high level sport is you get what you're given, and when you get given your time, you make the most of it.
Yeah.
I knew from my Oxford United days, Oxford United would categorically say to the parents, don't bother us. Do not come near us. Do not bother us. If we've got a problem, we'll come see you.
Yeah, but football's different now. So like leagues like the Junior Premier League, like they have a mandate that any child on the team sheet has to have 50% game time, right? But the culture in netball is different. So all these teams in your finals, they're fortunate. They win the majority of their games. So when you're winning, you have the opportunity to like use your subs and still win the game. Like not every netball club or every football club or hockey club is like that, right? But when you come to a national finals and you've worked all season, like to compete against these teams, against your Kingsways and your Stars and your Shans, like you need to have your best team out there for the full game, like in order to compete. And so I don't manage like over a game to game. I manage over the season. So I look at my fixture list and I say, listen, I'm coming to a national championships. Probably the girls on the bench aren't going to play that much, maybe not at all. But the key is communication with the parents beforehand. Like I think I find with parents is they don't like surprises when it comes to their sort of 10, 11, 12-year-old daughters.
Oh,
So
this is why we talked about telling people prior.
people, yeah, right. Yeah. And that way the parents can prepare the daughter, their daughters before they go up, right? And because we've had, teams that have traveled far, that have stayed in hotels the night before. I know one girl, like she was like the 13th player on the team and knew she wasn't going to play, but she wanted to come just for the experience, right? So it's like, as long as you communicate with the children and the parents beforehand, then the parents can prepare the children and make that decision. But like in terms of the way netball is and how competitive these games are, is this a game where you're going to like give girls 25, 30% game time regardless? No, that doesn't make any sense. No. There's other games to do that. But obviously,
I'm also going to throw into the ring here. Yeah, it is live streamed. What was it? How many games have I live streamed? 90 or 99%, 94% of the league, of all the games in all your leagues, whatever. It literally is, you're watching game for game, and there's a lot of pressure there. And parents do tell their families, and friends that they can watch, and they do watch. We got grandparents watching. So there's a lot of pressure there as well.
I didn't think of it like that as well.
They literally, this is a hyped up league where it's the best in the country. It's totally obviously available on a live stream. There's so much stuff, review shows, like you said as well. You've got all the other marketing that you put out there on social media and all that. It's not just, they played last Saturday and they won and they lost. They can actually watch. They can actually go back. You know what I mean? Yeah. They could literally, be somewhere else in the world and watch these games and follow them. Even when they get up, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's there. It's literally like massive. This is massive. I think that also throws into it, and they don't want to lose. No parent wants.
I definitely think transparency is a key. Maybe coaches prior to these events can, I don't know, go onto a chat room like this and just discuss with the parents what the team's going to be, and just explain kind of the thought process of what's going to be happening on the day. If we go up by 10, then I'm going to be bringing these players in. By all means, if players are not playing well, I'm going to sling players in. But I think communication is key. Yeah. But at the same time, I was thinking about this today when I go on my 3 to 4 mile walks with my young son. I was thinking,
he's not joking, Hayden. He does, and he phones me.
I do about 4 to 6 miles a day. But I was thinking, so when I set these events up, now we spend a small fortune on these competitions, and that's why people who go to refreshments and ask my refreshment ladies or my children, and they have a free program because they spent £15 on the ticket. Please, you need to stop that. You go McDonald's and tell them about a free hash brown with muffin meal.
If we
but
talk
what
about
I'm trying to say is, Hayden, what I'm trying to say is,
hang on. Hayden was going to answer that. What were you going to say?
Like your business, that's not worthy of mention on this live. If we're talking about like the safeguarding of the children, that's a valid topic of conversation. But yeah, that's between you and the parents. Like
what I'm saying is, when you go into these events, there's a certain acceptance of what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
So
the program's great. I should say as well. The program's great, by the way. I only looked at it sort of, after I got back, but it really does a good job sort of showcasing the girls. And yeah, it's really a good job on that.
So, he's always done a good job on them, to be fair. I have to say it. I hate saying it.
But yeah, it's a level of acceptance of you can crash and burn, or you can come out smelling of roses. But then most of the time, you normally come out averagely. So I reflect that in the parents' mentality when they go into these type of situations of, unfortunately, you have to accept both sides of the coin. There will be times where your daughter gets in the team.
Exactly.
But the flip side of that is there will be times they're sitting on the bench. You can't have it all.
But as a coach, as a coach, let the parents know in advance when your daughter's going to be playing and when your daughter's going to be on the bench. That way, they can prepare them before they come, because it's not nice. Yeah, it's not nice for youngsters to be sat on the bench thinking, I want to come on, thinking like, am I? That causes sort of anxiousness, you know.
But isn't the danger then of telling the kids prior to the game, and then the kids just basically saying, well, if I'm on the bench, I'm not going to come?
Then that'll be in the team.
I
know if my son turned around to me in the football and he said to me, "Oh, I've been put on the bench. I ain't going to play. I ain't going to turn up." I'll be like, "Well, then I won't bother taking you then ever again."
But
make your own way there.
It's a team sport.
It's a team sport.
And, you know, like I said, we go back to sort of Alison with Jesslyn, right? If you're there purely to win games, like, you'd play Tash 100% of the time, right? But Alison sort of used Jesslyn, like, regardless of outcome, she's looking to develop players. She's looking to win netball games a little bit, but she's looking to develop players and develop like characters, right? So by sort of putting Jesslyn in here and blah blah blah, you know, just easing her in. Now you've seen like Tash wasn't there. AP Saints nearly beat Berry. Like, Jesslyn was in your players, in your all-stars for the weekend, right? When they picked the best players off every team. So even if you are a sub to begin with, like, just by watching and learning the position, which like Jesslyn's put in the work there and then putting in the work in the training, like, you can progress to the point where you've gone from being a sub to now you're the best player on the team at the ENG national finals. Like, what a story that is.
Oh, good point. Ooh.
Again, and this is why I have a lot of time for Alison in particular, is because she's not afraid to throw rookies in, and she's not afraid to build people from the ground up. And I think the focus of any sports club at a grassroots level in particular is to develop players. Forget about winning trophy after trophy.
It's actually to develop. Yeah, Richard, it's not even that. It's to develop people. So the way I look at it is like 99 or 99.5% of all the players, maybe it's a bit higher at these in these elite netball squads, but in football, the percentages are low. They're not going to be professional footballers. So you want them to acquire skills through sport in terms of, like, you know, leadership, teamwork, compassion, making friends that are going to benefit them when they go into education, when they go to university, when they go into, you know, just life in general, right? When they go into employment. So you're looking to develop those skills as well as develop
start their own business.
Yeah, we'll start their own. But yeah, well, I know what you've got. You know, your daughter's futures lined up to do.
So let's summarize this before we shoot off, and I get my evening cup of tea before I sink into my bed around 10:30.
9:30.
It's your longest live stream.
Are we living in a world where we're becoming a bit too entitled? We're a bit too, I want it all now. And is it always just going to be like, is it always going to be a constant battle? Because I was speaking to someone and saying some areas don't have the luxury of just saying to a player, go. If you're not happy, go. Because there's no one else to replace them. Whereas some areas, say the Northwest, if someone gives you jip, I'm not playing enough, well, off your trot, because I can replace you in a heartbeat. It becomes an easier process. It's a bit like me next season. I think I'm going to have a big problem with the amount of teams in the South that are going to be signing up.
Yeah,
I've had so many. No, that's what I'm saying. So I'm in a luxurious position of teams that mess me about. I just turn around to them now and say, time to jog on. Whereas,
but that's not. Yeah, but I don't agree with that though.
No. In the set, I'm just trying to make a point. When you're able just to replace because you can, that makes it so much easier than making those big decisions when you're not in that position. If I was struggling to get teams and teams were giving me problems, and I just went, go away, then that will completely ruin the league. So
yeah, but like, as I said, like, going back to Eagles, I know a lot of girls at that club, and I know you don't have the best relationship with the people that run the club, and they had to leave the league. But I know that those girls in the under 13,
they didn't have to leave. They left the league. They didn't have to leave. They left the league.
Why? But all I know is, like, those under girls, especially in the under 13s and the under 15s, where they don't have like a big regional league, where they're not looking to go to under 16 and under 14 nationals, they really miss the league. Like, you know,
I'm going to go. I like to stay on the fence and try and bark on both sides, but I'm gonna jump to Richard's defence here. They left the league. Richard was trying to deal with the problem that happened. They left the league, so that's knocked out of the park, mate.
But you adults, you need to make more responsible decisions and understand that the decisions you make affect children, right? So you need to put your differences aside for the welfare of those girls.
But Richard,
you need to find a solution.
Yeah, but Richard was sorting a solution, and what he did, well, it wasn't. He didn't do anything. Eagles just left, so you can't blame Richard.
I'm not blaming him.
No, but Martin,
I feel so privileged that you're back in my corner. I don't know how we got on.
Do you know, I'm not used to this, mate. I like to dig in a bit, mate, on you. But I have to defend you here, mate.
When you have an abundance of kids wanting to join your club, it's so much easier to be a totalitarian type of figure and say, you don't like my ways, you need to leave. But unfortunately, for some clubs, they don't have that luxury of just going, right, jog on, because there's no one else to replace them. So their hands get tied behind their back, the communication stops, and that's when the problems arise in regards to parents not being aware of how the cookie's crumbling, because everyone is tiptoeing around each other instead of being very transparent and clear about what is expected. I don't know how we got onto the
He started it.
It's one of the best junior teams in the country. I know that Hallie's always watching your live streams and seeing how the girls at her age are doing. So the league would be better with them back in it. So I hope that you can come to some kind of a solution and get Eagles back into the league.
Unfortunately, when we set rules in place, in particular, and grown adults can't abide by
but
we have problems.
Look, we've got 5,000 on the live stream watching.
It's not about the adults, it's about the children. Like mums and dads don't get on sometimes, but mums and dads, they separate and whatnot. They have to find a solution for the welfare of the children. Just
to sum that one up, and if anyone's watching here tonight, they're probably getting more than they bargained for.
Yeah, we need to end the stream. It's long now. Everyone's tuned out. We can talk about that on Zoom.
When one side of the party were trying to come up with a solution, because one side of the party understands that the kids were the victims, right? So one side of the party was trying to make sure that the kids were protected and that the kids could continue on their ENG journey. The other side of the coin, unfortunately, didn't want to accept any responsibility for any action throughout the whole weekend. And instead of accepting that they were potentially in the wrong, they were in the wrong. Everyone was in the wrong at some point, because no one
we've got 10 viewers. Everyone's tuned out. It's time to end the stream.
No.
No. Not get away with that one, mate. He's on one.
You have to, unfortunately, there's got to be a point where you are a grown adult and you accept that, unfortunately, you're not perfect. So they cut and run.
On that note,
and ENG went, we'll continue to lead.
All right. Good night, guys.
Hayden, like I like to say, it's privilege. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Right, okay. So well, mate, I think that ends the show. And a spectacular one at that as well. Whoa, controversy all the way to the end.
Well, you know what, Martin? Like, the frustrating thing is, after that scenario, people were they were trying to throw us under the bus big time, and you know that. And when I actually actively sit here, promote these clubs, celebrate these clubs, give the players player of the seasons, player of the tournaments, countless pictures, promotions, and all it takes is for one thing for these people to get on their high horse. You just think to yourself, I'm glad you're not in it no more, because if there's no relationship there, it's just take, and then if I don't like something, I'm just not only going to just throw everyone under the bus, I'm just going to go around demonizing everyone but myself. And unfortunately for them, they messed up big time, because we've continued to deliver a service that is inspiring hundreds and thousands of girls across the country. And unfortunately, their players are missing out big time. So, yeah, it's
a shame. It's a massive shame.
They need to look in the mirror at themselves, because they've let those girls down massively.
Oh, such a note to finish on as well, man. Is there any chance of them being able to come back if they contacted you? I feel like your therapist now. So, if we'd like to go back and think.
The thing is, the danger is, if you let people back, you'll so readily able to demonize your business and your service. It's a dangerous thing to do, for the sake of the reputation of the league and everyone inside the league. So I don't know what. No, probably not. To be honest, it's. I
suppose it'll come if they reach out and say, "Can we come back into the league?" And then we'll really find out the truth. There we go. Quite simple. A hand has to be thrown out, and there you go. So, as always, look, mate. Let's not dwell on some of the
great season. If you're still in the room after all those hours, great season. It was amazing, knackering, amazing. We had ups, we had small little downs. But all in all, a great season again. And we'll be back in a 2023-24 season with new teams, new heroes, new villains, new marketing, new cameras for the live stream. We've got a whole new system about to come to fruition where every single child will be able to access all the live content so you can help develop your game. So there's going to be literally no excuse. Me and Martin are doing our best now to eliminate any excuse, apart from having AI umpires.
They can go wrong, mate.
There's not a lot else we can do to help you get the result you desire from this process. So it's bedtime. There's cup of tea time, then it's bedtime. But we'll see you again in a 2023-24 season.
Thank you all for watching, for being part of it, for watching the live streams as well from me, from FBL Broadcasting. Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you as always for all the wonderful travel and the laughs and the jokes along it, and to all the people who also communicate via the web chat thing we have on our web, fblstreamslive.com. Don't forget, it's all there. You can also follow us on social media. Don't forget, you can comment if you're watching this on the replay, as they say. Do comment. We will put it back. Let us know what your thoughts are on all the things we talked about, especially with Hayden as well, what he did with the dissection of the games as well. Is that going to help you? Let us know if that is. Other than that, we'll see you next season. I have freedom. I have time to do other stuff. Richard, as always, have a good one. Bye-bye.